Hello, Aquarius. This is Don and Bonnie, and we are Cards and Constellations, the folks who are marrying both astrology and tarot on the net. Let's get to it. Let's see what your energy for the week is. I'm going to give you a quick overview of just the energy. Then I'm going to shift you over to Bonnie for the astrology, and then come back to me for a long read. Not so long, but you know what I mean. Anyway, your energy this week, I'm loving it. Ace of Cups. This is the start of a new positive energy, and I'm loving it, Aquarius. Go with the flow. Make this happen. When you have this kind of energy, make sure you let no one steal your thunder, no one steal your joy. And if you're going into a July 4th weekend with this card, the party is starting. So let's not do something I wouldn't do, and that leaves a whole lot to be done. With that said, Ms. Bonnie, I'm leaving it up to you.
All right, well, let's start out with the moon first. On July 2nd of 2025, we have the first quarter moon. Now, that's when we do all the work on whatever project we are in. So in order to find that out, we have to step back and locate the new moon in Libra. Okay, so on October 2nd of 2024, the new moon was in Libra at 10 degrees, 3 minutes. All right, so now we're here, first quarter. So if you go back and check your journals or wherever you keep your intentions, that will give you the idea of what you're working on. So then we're going to go forward. The full moon in Libra will be on April 2nd of 2026 at 12 degrees, 20 minutes. That's when we pivot. And then we start pulling away and we get to the last quarter in Libra on December 30th of 2026 at 5 degrees, 16 minutes. The cycle is then complete and we wait for the next new moon. Now let's see what we have just for Aquarius. We have this week offers many different opportunities. Your planet Uranus is sitting at 29 degrees, 44 minutes of Taurus, just about ready to go into Gemini towards the beginning of the week. There is both a kite and a mystic rectangle. Those are all good energies leading you. But with a good comes a challenge. There are challenging aspects in the oppositions between Mercury and Pluto and Saturn and the moon. Inside a kite, we see a major trine. That is good energy. We also have a Uranus conjunct with Venus. This can bring a deep need for emotional freedom and authenticity in relationships. You value spontaneity, but can sometimes find it difficult to tolerate routine or expectations that feel limiting. There is a tendency to keep your feelings private until you feel safe to be able to express those. But when given that space and trust, it can be delightfully engaging and loyal. As Uranus comes into a trine with Pluto, this can give a strong inner sense that changes, both necessary and possible. You may find yourself deeply motivated to improve your life, but also the world around you. The supports bold thinking and originality and transformative insight. At the very end of the week, we do see Uranus conjunct with Venus, and they are in opposition with the moon. That leaves a little tension between the need for closeness and the desire for freedom. You may find yourself experiencing emotional disruptions, the challenge, your sense of stability. You are independent by nature and often will question the conventional path in both family and emotional life. Deep down, you have a sense of being emotionally separate from others, but that fuels your personal strength and your sense of originality. Don, what do you show for Aquarius?
Before we get to that, Ms. Bonnie, can you help me? I think you just said that we are getting we're getting prepared to go into a retrograde, right? A Mercury retrograde?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Can you explain real quick what Mercury retrograde is known for?
Oh, yes. Mercury retrograde is known for a lot of things. One of them is that it brings people from your past back. Okay. Past relationships. Yeah. It also will challenge technology in a big way. It challenges communication because in retrograde, it's looking backwards. So to communicate effectively, we have to take that into consideration. So those are the big challenges.
So folks understand that it's coming up. Be careful what you're saying now, because as you enter retrograde, whatever you're doing now could carry over. And when that happens, it can get messy. So just be careful. That's why I wanted to point that out, because you pointed it out. I'm like,
And we're in the pre-shadow for retrograde.
Exactly.
So on July 17th, we actually turn retro.
Exactly. And that energy, like you said, the pre-shadow, that energy is already creeping in. So be cognizant of what you say. Be cognizant of what you say and watch for the technology stuff. If it starts glitching, don't beat your phone up. Just guess that's retro.
Well, and technology is having a big problem right now also because of the solar storms and the solar flares.
Exactly.
I mean, it's been predicted to knock grids out. So, a lot of it.
And Aquarius, you're the only sign that got that little tip. So you are the lucky sign this month, this week. So let me get to it, Aquarius. This one is for you. What do we have for Aquarius? Aquarius. Next in line is the Queen of Pentacles. I love this. If we're starting off with some great energy, with the happy energy rolling in. And it makes sense because we're getting into a new month. So if you're coming into a new month, how better to celebrate that than new energy? But look at this, the Queen of Pentacles. And she is riding high. She's like, you know what? I'm cool. I've been working on this. It's coming through. I'm still just, you know what? She's not a lot of highs and she's not a lows. It's not that. That's her energy. Most of the queens are not highs and lows. They are more about stability, about moving on through, about just doing her thing and jamming along. The Queen of Swords will cut you. The Queen of Pentacles will reward you. So this is setting you up for a reward. This is setting you up for abundance, by the way. So this is more than just money or whatever, or happiness. This is abundance. This is joy. This is cheer. So, and this is telling you, if you're going to do something with family this weekend, do it because you have the right energy for it. If you are thinking about doing with groups of people, do it. Bring people together, celebrate, and make those connections. Make this a July to celebrate, okay? The next card out is the Magician, and the Magician card is you have the power. This is the Master Manifestor in the Tarot deck. And the Master Manifestor is very clearly saying that if you want something to happen, you got to do it. And you are capable of doing it. And when you make it happen, when you set things in motion, it will happen. So take that power you have, take that joy, take that energy, and let's see you make some magic. Let's see you make something happen. And I will get back. I will kind of push this back away from the family environment, but also in your business environment, in your work environment. If you've been working on something, working towards something, be it a promotion, a raise, maybe leading a project, maybe even starting your own business. You know what? This energy, you've already put the work in and you've been putting the work in, but now let's step it up and let's kick it into high gear. Let's go in and ask the boss, where's my raise? Where's my promotion? Let's file for the new job. Let's create the new product. So this is making it happen. This is putting it into action. And think about it. We just closed out the first 6 months of the year. So the first half of 2025 is gone. This is the time to say, you know what do I want the next half to be? Do I want the same? If it is, that's wonderful. But a lot of people may be saying, no, I want something different. This is the good time to do it. And what better time, again, like this. I do feel some of y'all, you aren't in the best of places. And so you need to make a change. You want to make a change, but you just needed me to tell you it's time because you've been wanting to feel it. And you're like, you just needed confirmation. I'm giving you confirmation. So let's get rocking and rolling. And when you do, that 10 of Cups, look at that, baby. The happiness is there. You're going to find the joy and you're going to find the thrill because it's going to work out for you. And you know why? First and foremost, because you kept going forward. You didn't get deterred, and the energy around your universe and around your environment is all about happiness and joy for you. So this is a new cycle, a new happy year. Get to it. Get started, celebrate with family and friends, and most importantly, focus on how you can move forward in all aspects of your life. That's it, Ms. Bonnie. That's what I got.
I think that just fits perfectly, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Yes.
And I'm so happy to hear that for Aquarius. So many times they struggle. And I think it's time for them.
Yeah, I think sometimes they're too deep. They kind of get into their they process too much, and sometimes you have to step back. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. When I think of deep, I think of Scorpio.
Oh, well, yeah.
When I think of Aquarius, I think of rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
They challenge those norms.
Yeah, but they're always analyzing. That's the point. They're always processing. They're always like, okay, I'm paying attention to everything. And is that going? Is that? It's a challenge. Yeah. So again, it's like, yeah. With that said, Aquarius, show us some love as well as we have showed you. And that is a very simple process by one move. And that's taking that finger and beep, hitting that subscribe button. If you are on Sonora Mystic Tarot, then hit the subscribe, make sure you hit it, and then pop over to Your Love Goddess. And if you are on Your Love Goddess, please pop over to Sonora and Mystic Tarot and look at that finger. See how it works? Anyway, with that said, also Cards and Constellations, which is right behind me. Check it out. All three channels are on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notifications if they're not already, so that you can know when we are live. And therefore, you don't have to find us anymore. We find you. And with that said, happy 4th of July from Miss Bonnie, her family, me and mine, to you and to yours. Love, light, and blessings until next week. Subscribe, share.